chairman, and he can decide where it goes from there. M08DJ G7SPD.
Just, Dick, I can't see any talk by you here, but I have got V1, probably V2 I think, so a bit of confusion there, and this month there's no, the date you said, it don't exist on the Friday. Duh. So perhaps you got the wrong month or something. Go through the full program. Anyway, I'm sure one of your, it's called Getting Old. Duncan from M0HDJ.
M0HDJ and the group to Echo Zero Echo Oscar Lima Portable. Yeah, evening to everyone. Yeah, I tell you what, to avoid confusion, of course, if you can't remember my name or anything, you could call me 2E0EOL. So, as we said, I think at the club a couple of weeks ago, saves confusion. In fact, I call myself that in real life a lot of the time, even when I'm at work. So most people have got used to calling me 2E0EOL in the office. I'm up at Weston-super-Mare, just outside Weston-super-Mare on a hill. I can see for miles around, and I've put up, I've got a Longwire antenna that I bought a couple of pipes yesterday, and then attached some hooks, some self-tapping hooks into the top of them, and strung it up here. So I've been listening to 80 meters. There's airfields on the air station. It's 80 meters, 3.645, and the call sign there is Golf Bravo 5 Mike Uniform. That's quite a good one. I'll be back onto that frequency, I think, after the net. So that's what I'm doing, listening around up here. It's reasonably quiet. Only a couple of people have asked me what I'm doing, so not too bad. Back to you, Dave, from 2E0EOL/P.
Quickly, evening to Brian and Jackie. Dick, M0HDJ.
G0XAY, good evening to Duncan. Yeah, the generator, Matt, it's not the engine, which is fine. It's the generator part of it, which has got an alternator and no, it's what is it? It's one of these newfangled things with which is DC and then it converts it or something. But anyway, it does need somebody who knows what they're doing with the electrical generators. But the only person I know is Power Electrics at Warmley, but they only deal with sort of big things which you offload with a crane, and this isn't quite that. But it's a 2 kilowatt one, which is the one we use for driving all the lights and the music on the on Father Christmas's sleigh. But anyway, I say the engine's fine, but there's I can't remember what they say is wrong with it, but it's the thing that converts it from DC to AC. As the control board, the controls of that have gone. It produces about 280 volts at about 60 cycles per second, which doesn't do any electronic kit any good at all. So that's the problem, Matt, anyway. Right, round to you anyway. G7FBD, G0XAY in the group.
G7SPD. Yeah, it's one of the little suitcase generators, sun soluble inverter. The two we've got here, well I've got here, are exactly the same. The control board on mine, the actual inverter, is potted. I can certainly ask him, because he is primarily an electronics designer, but he's gifted in the electromechanical and chemistry departments. And he was the guy I was building a fuel converter with. He's gone on to finish that, and obviously I haven't got a vehicle that runs on veggie oil anymore. Just for your information, Dick, your talk is scheduled 19th of May. Next week is meant to be a relaxing chat, but they've moved the broadband chat to next week. And then on the 14th is the bring and buy. So your heads up on the 19th of May, old boy. Anyway, I have just been summoned by she who must be obeyed, so I'm going to go and stick nose in trough. And we'll be back after the event, shall we say. I'll put it back around today, but I'm going to go QRX for a little bit and go in nose bag. G7 FPD.
Yeah, cheers for now. I'll catch you before 8 o'clock. We don't run late, forget that. Yeah, I was here was a blip, didn't I? Duncan, Sir HCJ.
M0HDJ and the group 2 Echo 0 Echo Oscar Lima stroke Papa. Got a bit of a cold actually, so if I sound funny, that's the reason. Yeah, that's the ham mesh net thing, isn't it? That Peter was going to be doing, wasn't he? Or and/or Martin, G7NSY. Yeah, I'm quite interested in that. I'm glad I haven't missed that. I should make sure I'm there for that, because be interesting to get involved in that. And you know, I've probably said before that I'm working on a sort of ham radio related service, etc., which we were talking about being exposed within that network, so people could use it even if they don't have internet access. Although I've got a few questions in my mind I'm not clear about, so I'll be looking forward to that talk, really. So glad I haven't missed it if that's the one. Right, I'll put it round back to you then, Dave, from 2E0EOL/P.
We got a round robin, Dick.
G0XAY. Right, okay. Yeah, that's the generator, of course, is for the Lions, not for me. I've still got the Lions old generator in the garage, which they managed to seize. They said, oh, it's very noisy, so they, without asking anybody, they built a box of insulation and put that all around it. And as it's an air-cooled generator, you can guess what happened. It got hot, and then it said, well, it doesn't run very well now. Well, it wouldn't. It was seized. So I took it apart and cleaned out and polished out the marks on the crankshaft and so on, and they were quite shallow, so I was fairly confident we haven't gone through the case hardening. But I had burnt out a valve, and when I put the valve back in, it was a fraction short by the time I finished grinding it, and it'll run, but only at a very wrong beat. The only way you can adjust the valve clearances, and hence the point of opening and shutting of the valve, is via the clearance. And I got that wrong. I've got a new valve, I just haven't got round to taking it apart and putting it back together again. Well, and grinding the valve in, of course. But there we go. It's been sitting there for, I think, 2 years now, if not 3. So if anybody fancies having a go, they can have the generator. But what else? Oh, I must get round to concluding the sale I'm doing for this guy who's gone QRT. So I must have a look at that in the coming week, and that and some gardening should keep me quiet, I should think. Who's after me? Matt's gone, so it's 2E0 EOL stroke portable. That's Duncan from G0XAY in the group.
Break.
2E0 EOL stroke P, go ahead to break station.
Mike 1 Charlie Echo Lima. Have you tried TH White along the road from you? Or the other one is Martin, is it Martin Davis? Tar Martin. You know somebody who can sort it out for you. That's the guy to go and see. Martin Davis. Just over the bridge, go into Tar Martin, go towards Marshfield, just over the bridge, turn right, and he's down there in the old barn. Dick. Over to E0 EOL, M1CL.
M1CEL and the group 2 Echo 0 Echo Oscar Lima stroke Papa. Yeah, I don't know much about generators. I thought they were all noisy. Talking about put them in a box. I mean, yeah, I would have thought the more sensible thing to do is get a longer wire. Attenuation of the noise by just having it further away, not putting it in a box. I wouldn't think to do that. Interesting one. Okay, so no Peter on the net tonight. I guess he's eating his dinner or whatever. Yeah, okay. Don't have much more to say, so I'll pass it back to you then, Dave, from 2E0 EOL stroke P.
Nah, cheers, mate. M0 HDJ. Even Clyde, right? Nah. Oh, perhaps perhaps I can't have a longer lead. Might be in a mobile situation. I don't know. Because point that one out. Any other bits there? Blanking now, see. Oh, Pete, Duncan. No, he'd been out 3/4 of the day. Out the smoke with his dad, taking up bits and pieces from somewhere. I can't imagine where he pick up bits and pieces from in London, HI. That's no questions. Get told no lie. Dick, M0 HDJ.
G0XAY, thank you, David. Yeah, well, thank you for Martin Davis. The other lot you mentioned didn't want to know. They said no, that was not their sort of scene, Mike. But I don't know Martin Davis anyway. So you say he's where is he? He's on the south side, the Bath side of junction 18. Is that where you mean? Perhaps you'll explain anyway. Now, as far as quiet generators go, there's been quite a change in the last 10 years or so. And generators are still air-cooled, but they're in sort of basically plastic boxes with a lot of foam insulation inside. But they are designed to be like that, so you still get a proper draft past the hot bits of the engine, so the things do stay at the right temperature. Also, the exhausts are a lot better than they were, and so you really get a generator where you can use it to run things like music and so on. Whereas the old generators, you had to have the music up really loud, and the generator was still very noisy. But various people try various things. All you normally did is wreck the part of it, because it was designed to run with a certain back pressure in the exhaust, of course. And if you fiddled about with that, well I did on the club's generator. I did put an extended exhaust on once, and sort of buried it in a farmer's muck heap. And the generator accepted that all right, and it did cut the noise down quite dramatically. But we haven't. I don't think we've used that generator for some time, so it's must be downstairs, buried in all the other stuff. But anyway, I'm the proud possessor of 2 generators at the moment. Works properly, so that's not very good at all. I'll have to get onto that. Yeah, I think that'll do for a minute. And so Matt, I presume, is still feeding his face. So go round to Duncan. Your turn to think up something to say, Duncan. 2E0 EOL portable G0XAY in the group.
Yeah, okay, I'll put it round to Claude afterwards, and then he can put it round to Dave. Yeah, well, I don't have a lot to say. I'll tell you what I did do. I did go down to Exmoor yesterday and had a drive around, play with the radio down there. So, mostly, the only thing I really heard down there was Charlie Bravo traffic. There seemed to be a Saturday evening net on there. So I think if I'm down that way again, I'll probably get involved. Yeah, that was fun driving across Exmoor. Didn't realise, I didn't quite realise, perhaps because I'm not out in the countryside enough, but the place was full of pheasants, and I think they were pheasants anyway. I didn't realise quite how dozy they were. They wouldn't get out of the way. So that was fun. And yeah, but I didn't bother putting up an antenna down there. Just drove around listening in the van. So how long I stay out here tonight might depend on. I'll probably be gone by 2100, I suspect. Have a bit more of a listen around on 80 metres after the net. There's also a 10 metre net apparently that follows this, so I might have a quick listen around on what's on that. That's directly after the net, so if anyone wanted to do that. So I didn't know these things happen, you see, because I'm such a rubbish location in Bath. Unless I'm out and about, I don't get to hear them. Round to Claude from 2E0EOL/P.
Yeah, when you go up Exmoor, look for Wedding Cross. Wedding Cross. It's basically south of Minehead. Or if you go to Minehead and you turn left, Dunster, straight up and up the top of Wedding Cross. And when you get to the not Webbing. When you get there at the top, you turn right. Takes you up on Dunkerley Beacon, which is the highest point. I think it's about 1,700 foot on Exmoor. It ain't great to the south, but it's great everywhere else. And you can see the Severn Bridges from there on a clear day, quite easy. The other way, the way I always used to go actually was Wilton, and then go towards Minehead, and then you see these masts on the right hand side. I forget what they call it. There's some sort of zoo place. You turn left just before there, go up the hill, you come to a pub, forget the name of the place now, turn right and go along the road, then take the first fork on the right hand side, and just before you get into the village it gets very narrow. Lovely place to go through in a lorry. Oh dear, you never know who's going to come the other way. Got the places around there. Yeah, Dick, these generators, who are they made by? Have you got any names of any engines or whatever? Because that might even help. Martin Davis, he does everything. It's mostly farm machinery, but he might know somebody who can sort you out. He might not be able to do it himself, but he'll more likely know somebody who can actually sort it out. He's that sort of guy. Down in town, there's a plant. They used to do generators, but I don't know if they still do. but that's a national company. So if you've got the name of the generator, if it's you know, so let's say a Honda, Yamaha, or whatever, or something like that, I can look it up for you and find out who actually services them. M1CL. Over to you, Dick.
M0HCJ, check in again. Yeah, M0HCJ. Yeah, it's that one, that club generator, Dick, is far too heavy to manhandle. It's ridiculous. We then got rid of it. There you are. And we always use, well, we have done when we've had to is match stuff. You got a couple, I think. And then other times it's on the mains, or we go DC, keep it green. So that's that. Yeah. We're at next though on Dunk. And did you buy any whiskey the other night?
This is
Round to Dick from M0HCJ.
IO81TK. Good evening. The time is 19:30.
0XAY, thank you, David. I haven't got the name of it immediately here, Mike, but I did look up the servicing of it, and I've got the papers somewhere, but there was no one sort of local, and the importers didn't seem to be too forthcoming about servicing. So they sort of said, oh, we've got all the spares, you'll have to get someone to service it. The importers are in Lancashire. I didn't want to send the blooming thing up to Lancashire. I thought that would be quite an expensive option. But anyway, I'll can you just give me a further location on Martin Davis, please, Mike, and I'll pop up and see him. When you said over the bridge, I wasn't certain which bridge you had in mind, but anyway, if you could come up with a better location for Martin Davis, I'd be grateful. There you go. It'd be nice to get at least one generator out of the garage. I'm trying to have a clear out there. I've thrown away electronics this week. I know it hurts, but no one's been shown any interest in them for about 3 years. So. Well, Sean showed interest in one, but it was strictly American stuff, which wasn't much use to him or anybody else as far as I know. So that's gone. But anyway, we keep trying to get shutter phone. I presume Matt is still feeding, so round to Duncan, 2E0 EOL, portable, G0XAY, in the group.
G0XAY and the group, 2 Echo 0 Echo Oscar Lima stroke Papa. Yeah, okay. I wonder if that's what you're referring to there is that 220, I think, megahertz band that we don't have access to, but the Americans do. Something like that maybe comes to mind. Yeah. All noted, by the way, Claude. You're saying the places you describe do sound like where I was actually. So I think I found the right place. I couldn't really get a real appreciation of how high I was because it was after dark. So, but I think I was fairly high up. It was kind of I saw a sign there, sort of saying, you know, warning, sort of a mile, you know, low gear, etc. on the way down. So I thought, oh right, here's the place to stop. Then I don't want to go back down the hill. So I thought that would be a good place to have a listen around. But I had fun. I'll probably go down there again soon on a regular basis. And Dave, what you said about the whiskey, well, it took me a while to understand what you meant there, but yeah, I certainly had a few drinks. Round to you from 2E0EOL/P.
You'll go cousin.
M1CL, yeah. Sorry, just eating something. Right. If you go from your way, I think it's into, I can't remember now. Well, from Badminton, back to Old Sodbury. And then you can turn left, can't you? Not Old Sodbury. The other place. That pub. To the Westerly Road. Well, you know where the Westerly Road is. And that might be easier. You get on the Westerly Road. You go straight across the A46. Dogleg slightly to the right. Takes you down into Tormarton Village. Turn right. And that takes you towards Marshfield. You go over the motorway. And just the other side of the motorway, there's a turn-in on the right-hand side. And it doubles back on itself, and then it goes down to sort of like a barn. That's where he is. Well, I mean, that's where he was a couple of years ago. He used to be up in Marshfield itself. And he used to have a telephone number like 345, something like that. It was right in the middle of Marshfield. But as I say, he does a bit of everything. So he does tyres and you name it and whatever. And, you know, farm machinery and whatever. But he'll more likely know where you can sort of, you know, get it sorted or whatever. Or tell you. The other thing is it a Chinese one? Because if it's a Chinese one, Dick, the only place for it is the bin. No offence, but that is the problem with a lot of the Chinese stuff. It's very odd, and it just so if it comes from some weird place like that, very, very hard. M1CL, who's got to go over to I think it's over to you now.
Yeah, Sura Stepo's in Beijing. You can have it no deck. M0's DJ.
G0XAY, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that, Claude. Sorry, I always call you back. Yeah, that's Lower Lapdown Farm, isn't it? Where you're describing. Okay, they won't take you 5 minutes to go up and see him, if he's there. If not, I'm sure they'll tell me where he is. But no, it's not Chinese. I think it's German actually. But I think it's got a Honda engine. But I can't honestly remember. And I've had a look while we've been chatting, and I thought the instructions for it were here. Well, if they are, they're well hidden. Is all I can say. But there you go. But thanks very much for that, Claude. I will investigate further. I have to say that the auto electrics people in Yates weren't very helpful at all, really. You know, they can only do things that you or I could do. But they weren't even prepared to change control boards. Well, if I can't find anybody, I'll have to order the bits and have a go. But I'd much rather someone did it who knew what they, you know, was familiar with the generators. I mean, I've fixed generators in the past, but that was 20 years ago, and that's it's a different breed now. But there you go. Round again, it's getting faster and faster, this, isn't it? But what else can we talk about? Don't know. Oh yes, I do. I used to have an Index QRP HF transceiver, 5 watts, and I absolutely loved it. It was a beautiful little radio, but I needed something else, and it had to go. And with a heavy heart, I sold it to a guy in Ireland who was absolutely thrilled to get it, and he wrote me emails saying what a wonderful bit of kit it was, and how pleased he was, and all the rest of it. Well, I was very pleased for him, but I was also a bit fed up because I didn't really want to sell it. But anyway, I've just bought one off eBay. I haven't got it yet, and so we'll see if it works. But the guy who wrote the advert had been quite honest, and he said he hadn't actually tested it, though he switched it on and it all seemed to work. But he hadn't got an aerial and he hadn't got a licence, so he couldn't test it. And now I'm bid for it. So I got it for 220 quid, which was about 2/3 the price they have been going for. So that should come this week, and we wait with interest to see whether my investment is a good one, or whether it's better go to what's his name's and get it fixed. There you go. Right, there's another subject we can talk about. Duncan, 2E0 EOL portable, G0XAY in the group.
G0XAY and the group, 2 Echo 0 Echo Oscar Lima stroke Par. Yeah, okay, that's, I don't know what bands that radio does or anything, so that sounds interesting. That was interesting you said about the chap who you bought it from didn't have a license, because when I bought some antennas recently, I bought them off this bloke on eBay. He's kind of, he does seem to be a legitimate shop. I found him on this sort of industrial estate, and what they do is mostly make antennas, and they all seem to make them in the actual place there in this small shop in the industrial estate. So I said to him, just out of matter of interest, I wasn't sort of suggesting he should have a license or anything like that, but I just wanted to know, because bring up the conversation, maybe get his call sign, this kind of stuff. So I just said, so are you licensed? He said, I've been doing it since the 80s, etc. I said, so are you licensed then? And he said, no. And that got me thinking. I thought, well, how does he test these antennas then? How does he know they work? I didn't ask the question, because I thought it might be a bit rude, in case he was doing something that technically he shouldn't be doing. But it's, I did sort of, perhaps there's a way he can do it, but it did cross my mind. Over to you, Claude, from 2E0EOL/P.
There's a set of formulas to do. You can get the app. See, that's the problem. If you had yourself a mobile phone, nephew came up yesterday, got a new mobile phone, Samsung J3. It's a package deal. At the moment, they're doing it for tenner a month. That's half a gig of data. I think it's 300 minutes or whatever it is, and as many texts as you want. Now, you had something like that. You could get the app. So as an app, you could get a couple of apps, and it'll tell you what the aerial should be and all the rest of it. You just put the information in, and it'll come out with all the information. You don't need internet. It does it off the internet. Also, when you went out in the countryside somewhere or another, and you went somewhere, you think, oh, where am I? You could have another app which will bring up a map, and you just touch the map, it'll come up with your altitude. Also, you can get it to come up with your Maidenhead square as well. So all that, you can get apps to do all that sort of thing. And some of them actually do it without even being connected to the internet, just on a map, by working through the GPS and the map. So it's very lightweight and whatever. Yeah. Now going back to the generator. Yeah. The other person up, but I think he's dead now, that's Tom Bishop out of Wick. I mean, he used to know lots of stuff, but I looked it up the other day. I had this app on the beta app for Company's House, and I looked him up. I thought, oh, let's see. Ah, well, it hadn't been a limited company until 2011. I thought, well, I hadn't seen him since about 2009, so I guess his wife and his son now run the business. So, yeah, I guess he's gone. Or whatever. But he would have known. He was that sort of guy, you know, he didn't mind grabbing hold of something and having a look and whatever. His son isn't so quite as good as that, and I know somebody else actually that I can't contact him. A guy called Mike Taylor, but he's packed his business in, and I don't know what he's doing anymore. But yeah, who's it gone over to? Dave, M1CL.
M0HDJ, yeah. We could put them on these analyzers, Duncan. We'll put out a little squirt of RF, look. They new ones, I think. Yeah, I think the old ones, say MFJ, would do it. Squirt it out. So, Dick knows more about it than me. I've been playing my CP6, tuned it up. Managed 2 bands out of 3. I got a nice swirl on the LF bands. That's good. And I'm still chuntering away Dunk on 3645. Dick from Sir HCJ.
G0XAY. I'm not too clear what you were talking about there, David, but never mind. Yeah. Right, well, I seem to have got the stuff that needed doing when I came home mainly done. I've certainly got the line stuff sorted out. And we've got 24 Easter eggs out in 24 pubs and clubs. So hopefully everybody who sees one will immediately buy a square for £1 and help the fundraising. And I think the next thing really is gardening, but I'm hoping to do some radio eventually. I have recently had the Kenwood 870 it's gone back to electronics, and Jeff has done a nice job on it and sorted it all out and so on, so that should be working fine when I get around to using it. And on the VHF or UHF and the bottom of the microwave, there's even been something on 1.3 gig. I note. But I suspect my arrow is pointing in exactly the wrong direction for that at the moment, because it's on the mast at the back of the house, which has got all sorts of things on it. So there you go. I've just come across a picture of Einstein's desk on the day he died. I see, like me, he'll die with a list of jobs to do. There you go. Round to you. Oh, what am I doing? I was about to pass it to the wrong person. Duncan, 2E0 EOL, portable, G0XAY in the group.
Yeah, I'm just getting a bit worried here because I notice I'm sitting here with the interior light on. Of course, it's sunshine. Didn't really think of that. So hopefully the engine still starts. When I drop the key, I'll just check that. Yeah, it'll probably be okay. I've got a reasonably new battery. I bought this van recently-ish, and the battery was pretty much worn out, so I got a new one. But yeah, probably answered my question there, the various Dave and Claude probably answered my question, because yeah, it was antenna analyzer, fine, but technically you would need a license, wouldn't you, to use one? But then again, and Claude was saying if it's just based on formulas, well, yeah, surely you'd make an antenna based on the formula and then you'd test it. But considering the success rate of the various antennas I bought from him, maybe that answers the question. Maybe he did just make it based on the formula, and of course they all work, right? But that's not quite my experience. I got one for 20 meters and one for 40 meters, and one of them seems to tune up on 15, 17, 12, and one of them tunes up on 20. So anyway, I'll just check my van still starts. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Round to Claude from 20EOL/P.
Just quickly back to you, and can send it back to me. Is it Woburn and Sons where they're made?
Negative.
All right, yeah. I just wondered, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Pro-Am used to be the ones which were, I think they're still around. I think they're part of MFJ. But yeah, that's what you do. You do the formula. You then test it or whatever, and then you do everyone like it. So you've got, you know, whatever it is, and everyone should be the same. But sounds a bit odd to me. Unless it's a proverb, as I say. I got some really odd. I've had some really odd stuff over the years, and what was it? I can't remember who got me a 6-meter aerial, which doesn't work on 6 meters. That's it. I got a 6-meter. Yeah, it does work on 6 meters. It also works on 2 meters. But it works better on 2 meters. What? That's on 6 meters. Oh, and the other thing was, you said you bought some pipes. By the way, pipes go in the ground and stick onto walls. Tubing go up in the air, and it's normally freestanding. So, yeah, aluminium tubing. I don't know what the price is now. There used to be a place down Avonmouth you used to be able to get it. What's the name of the place? Not far from the truck stop, almost opposite the truck stop. Used to be able to get aluminium tubing for 30 quid a piece, but I don't know how much it is now. Steel tubing is absolutely stupid price, something like £4 a tube, but even more likely that's changed as well. The other thing I understand, which is quite cheap now, but more likely the prices will be going up, because, oh, that's it, a question for you, Dave. DIY SOS in Hartcliffe, where is it? Over to you from M1CL.
Oh, I can't remember the road. So, yeah. Research it. It's easy enough, isn't it? Go on, put it into a search engine. That's the best way. Get the definitive. I was playing web radio today. Lovely. Enjoyed that. Because it flattens it out a bit, the phone battery. Of course, I don't know just what I thought of Duncan. Of course, he might be doing it in a Faraday cage, and won't be radiating any RF. But the smart tuner, I mean, I've got a smart tuner here, and I've monitored it, and I've been tuning it, and it just goes beep. Then it's still tuning, but it got some of the work on them, like sort of thing. But just for about half a second, you get a blip. It makes a blipping noise on the radio, They're still tuning after that. Right, round to deck. Start pulling the shutters down in a minute. Sir HD Jack.
G0XAY, thank you, David. Yes, there are some aerials which really seem to work. I've always had trouble getting Sandpiper aerials to work, I have to say. But generally speaking, I find Sandpipers, especially when they're at rallies, very useful for buying aerial bits. They do stock a great selection of aerial parts, and on the whole, I'd rather build my own. I find that a more reliable way of getting an area working. But no doubt other people think Sandpiper are wonderful. He's a very nice bloke, and his wife's very nice too. But I do have trouble getting some of his aerials to work. I have one of his multi-band HF verticals, sort of collapsible thing, and really that is a pain. It is a pain, but there we go. Anyway, well, I think it's almost time to pack up, so I'll say thank you, David, for running the net. Cheers to Matt in his absence. Nice to meet you, Duncan. And thanks for the information, Claude. And I'll probably see you all next Sunday. Okay, it's cheers for now. From G0XAY, who's going to go and watch Antiques Roadshow. Bye for now. Or pass it on to, I'm so sorry, pass it on to Duncan. 2E0EOL Portable, G0XAY, in the group, which he's now left. Cheers.
G0XAY and the group 2 Echo 0 Echo Oscar Lima, stroke P. Yeah, okay, 7-3 then, Dick. I'll pass it straight round so everyone can do their finals. Round to Claude.
Oh, just I didn't realise you were going to give it to me. Yeah. Martin at the club, I don't know his call, David knows his call. He's got an analyzer he bought off of eBay. It's Chinese. I forget how much it cost him then. 120 quid, something like that. And you can put anything on there. There's two versions. One does HF up to about 2 meters, and the other one does higher. But it's brilliant. So you put your HF air, put your handy aerial on there, and it'll tell you if it's resonant to the radio or to the frequency or whatever. And I don't think there's anything out on that, but that's much better than the made from junk one. So that's the man to ask, Martin. Flex Martin, the man with a flex radio. And once a year, I'll leave it to you, Dave.
Yeah, Sir HDJ, yeah. Yeah, it's very good, that analyzer you got. You can see it all on the screen. And of course then there's G7 NS4 in it. Yeah, NS4. Right, thanks for being there, boys. And I'll probably see you Friday, not before on here. Oh, Duncan? Yeah, if you're down Western, you say one? No, you're not in Western, are you? I thought you said, I was going to say you might see Pete in a minute. Isn't it, was it KKI or something like that? Anyway, cheers, boys. Catch you further down. Sir DJ signing off and closing down the net.
M0HDJ 2E0EOL stroke P. For the avoidance of doubt, I'm on a hill above Western-super-Mare, so you are right.
Yeah, you ought to go to Weston-super-Mare itself, or go to Uphill. Park on the beach at Uphill. There's a big sign on the beach that says quicksand or something like that. So you then connect part of your aerial to that, connect something to that, connect your aerial to that. If you run a wire into there, because it is wet, really wet in that place, and that's a really good place to get out that. The other one's down on Breen sand. There's Breen, and there's, what's the other one? Oh, Burnham. That's it, Burnham and Breen. Breen is cheaper. Burnham is a bit expensive, and they tend to get more people, but Breen is much better. So you know, just put your stuff in the ground, and off you go. Brilliant for HF. Places like that, or if you don't want to go as far, you can actually go to Passage Road by the Severn Bridge. And that's all boggy the other side the fence, so you just get out and put your stuff across there. I spoke to a guy in the States from there actually on the 817 very easily, M1CL.
Yeah, okay, pro tip there. I don't think I'll be going down there in the dark if it says quicksand though. Wonder if you're trying to bump me off, HI. But no, okay, pro tip. I think I'm going to be out and about a bit more now that these are a bit lighter in the evenings, you know, so be looking to do a bit more DXing rather than just sitting at home writing code. Right, I'm going to QSY to 80 metres for a while, and then drive back, 7-3 from 2E0EOL/P.
Yeah. Well, I know loads of places because I used to do it myself. Drive around to all these different places and found this place and that place. There's a nice place on the back end of Exmoor actually. It's quite funny actually. I went to this place and parked up and thought, oh well, I'll just being quiet. Sat there, you know, just thinking what shall I, you know, read. Well, just using it basically on. Got out, went around the back of the van, and next minute there was a bloke come down the road on a mobility scooter. Oh, miles from anywhere, and the bloke's riding around on his mobility scooter. And I thought, I said, don't go and get lost. They said, my voice sat there. I thought, dead lucky. But I had the feeling he had originally that he had Alzheimer's, and he was going somewhere. Once I'll speak to you later.
7-3.
Temperature 19.8 degrees. 10.8 degrees.